next guest beat cancer and then use that life-changing experience to help so many others. And guess what? Now she's giving back again, this time to make much-needed masks during this pandemic. Joining us from New Jersey is Brenda Jones. She is the founder of Hug Wraps. And good morning to you, Brenda. Good to see your face this morning.
Good morning, Dan. Wonderful to see you as well.
So I met you 5 years ago and I did a story on Hug Wraps, right? It's your non-profit company which makes hospital gowns for cancer patients. So first and foremost, how is your business doing right now?
Unfortunately, it's doing well because there's so many cancer patients, but I'm happy to make them a hug wrap to just help them get through some difficult times with their treatments like I went through.
Yeah, you talked about how a hug wrap was just a different way to get rid of the hospital gown, which made you feel like a number and less like an individual and a human being. So you individualize these for each person who's going through this. But now you've shifted. You're using the amazing room you're in, that sewing room, to make masks. What made you think about doing this instead right now?
When I was a cancer patient, I was a number. I was that 9:30 appointment and I was angry. So I turned that anger around into, making something that made me feel better. And then when, with this pandemic, I was also kind of angry because I think our healthcare workers needed some help. And I thought, what better way to do it since I can sew is to learn how to make the masks. And I came up with, these are the first designs, and I happily hand them off to as many healthcare workers and frontliners as I can. And you know what, Dan? I am just one of hundreds of thousands of people sitting down to a sewing machine doing the same thing.
I know, and each one of you have these hearts of gold, right? To be able to do this for your first responders, you take these fabrics, and you know what? It brings a little color to this, right? And a little bit of color and personalization can really brighten someone's day.
You know what, Dan? I make hug wraps to be louder than cancer. I like the bright, fun, loud patterns, and I thought, why not just move that into mask as well? So I have a lot of fun, different colors and flames and animals and just everything else.
So how long does each one take to actually make, right? Because you're going through this process day in and day out.
The masks themselves are pretty easy. They're a little time consuming, but I do them just like I do hug wraps. I do all the cutting first, then I do all the pinning, and then, I do all the ironing and things like that. And then finally I get to sit down and sew them. And it's probably about maybe 15 minutes for each one because I kind of add some different steps and make them a lot heavier than normal.
And so how are you distributing them to frontline workers, and what's the response been that you're receiving?
The response has been so wonderful, Dan. What I always remember, is that Mr. Rogers is something as simple as this, his saying that look for the helpers. And when I first posted on Facebook about making these masks, I was immediately, connected with a stranger named Arlene who ordered me fabric from a woman named Dale from Art Fabric Studio, and another friend, Joanne, donated a lot of elastic, which is, like gold. And it has just moved from there that, it's not just one person. This pandemic is the worst thing to happen to us, but it has brought out the good in so many people, Dan.
Your motivation, your heart, I always say you're an angel. When I met you 5 years ago, I said you were an angel, and you continue to inspire so many people. And really, I know you're not going to ask for it, so I'm going to do it for you. For people who want to donate, they can go to your website, hugwraps.org, and they can make a donation. They could buy a hug wrap. They can even just simply donate to keep this going, right?
That's correct, Dan. Any help, that I can have to really hand up to others, it would be grateful.
Brenda, I'm giving you a big warm hug from afar, okay? Thank you for what you're doing,
you
okay?
Too.
Yeah, I love you back, and you are really an inspiration. I appreciate the time this morning, Brenda. Stay safe to you, okay?
Thanks. Be safe.